So my name is Axel Pahlavi. So it's a quite famous name, like everybody knows Pahlavi. And it has also relation with my more work somehow. It's funny to say that Pahlavi in French, Pahlavi means not life. So it was really strange for me to have this idiom we say in French in my brain. And so I was belonging to this story was related to the Iranian story. As you can see, I speak English with you. So ایرانی من امیر رفت فراموش کردم در ایران دنیا آمدم ولی بچه بودم الان امیر رفت. So that's why I will continue and go on with English language that everybody understands. So my father was I made a painting for him of him in this exhibition was recognized, adopted by the brother of the Shah Aliha, as you can see or read in the Wikipedia notice. And this is, I think, really important to me in some human reason, because my grandmother had this baby from a German soldier. You imagine in France, with a baby of a German soldier, you don't arrive in the best place, in the best moments. And the family said to him, you have to quit this baby. And she saved the baby. So this question of saving human is something really important in my paintings. Yeah, you have history, you have all those powers, but I think what is important is how we want to save a human life. And in this way, she met the Prince Ali Reza, who said, no, I won't say I adopt this baby, I say it's my baby. So imagine this crazy man made this incredible thing. So it was not life, it was life. Yeah. So Pahlavi was la vie. Another thing is that my grandmother, other grandmother, was a daughter of the prime minister of Iran, Mohammad Saad. And Mohammad Saad made this study with drawing a portrait of Nassereddin Shah. And he was giving this portrait against a little bit of paper and somehow material to continue to work the study. So drawing, he was a good drawer, was a way to arrive, to be someone from drawing. And my grandmother, Camilla Comele, was a beautiful drawer, great drawer. She made miniature painting. And my grandmother, Christian, was also a painter. So I have my two grandmothers, two great painters, arriving in my brain. It's my two style because I'm schizophrenic. I have a really defined style, a really open style. And these are my two grandmothers. And they all related, both of them related to Iranian story. So Kavede, Camilla, was always behind me, like saying, you have to draw, you have to do, it's nice what you do and everything. And when you say to a child that is talented, it's really important. You have to tell your child that they are talented. It's the best way to make the neck do something. Yeah, I think this is also really important. And the other grandmother learned me to paint, oil painting. Another story, and all the stories that are interesting, is that my father was friend with Masoud Behnood. Masoud Behnood was an Iranian painter, student of Kamal and Moore, the great Iranian painter, friend and student of Fontaine-Latour, the French painter. So he had like this realistic style. He was also not painting like affiche posters for cinema. And then he made some painting of Iran-Iraq war. I don't know if they are still in the museum of Iran-Iraq war, but he was not fan of painting the war. He wanted more painting flowers. So he came to France. In France, they laugh at him a lot because they say he's old style. His painting was old style. And now the realistic painting is coming back everywhere in the area. So he would be like little bit like more laughed in his style today. But my father was interested to this monster somehow because we are all monsters. And he learned me how to paint. He said for the teeth of women, we have to use geranium red. This is something he learned to me that I found really funny and great. He was a great man, a man with a lot of love with him who went to the Louvre together to visit. Now he died. But I must say I learned a lot with it. So here you have got the painting that, as you can see, really defined painting. A mix, let's say, with miniature painting and slavish primitive painting. And the image is related with a lot of cinema, Western, Japanese and American cinema, of fantasies, as we can see. And all those references, all those things are like mixed in my brain. Yeah. And I'm trying to put them together. This is really difficult for me. Yeah. Because when you have all those things inside you, it's difficult to nail them together. Because sometimes when you nail old tissue with new tissue, you can like destroy the tissue. You have to pay attention how you nail them. And I think I'm a little bit rogue. Yeah. What arrives, like Leonard Cohen says, there's a crack in everything. That's where the light goes through. So this crack is the light. And as you can see, there's light, a little bit too much light in my painting. And I think this is one of the points that talks about Pahlavi, death, la vie, life. So there's this strange that those paintings are not only about art. There's I try to put in this world some trace that permit us to talk with our future traveling to death. This is something really important, I think, for us as humans, because we are all fighting, and we don't understand that we are all dying, and we are all in the same strange position, and that should put us together in this adventure. And this adventure is that we will all die, and how we will do and end with this moment. And this is this question of light that I try to look what will arrive in the other side of the mirror, like said Lewis Carroll. So this is, I think, the main subjects, because do a nice painting, it's important. You put it in the wall, people are happy with it. But then it costs a lot of money to the society of painter, because it takes me 2.5 months to do a painting like this. So you have to sustain and help a human being to do all this painting for 2.5 months, and all the society is working for this. So you want to give back something not only to the owner of the painting, but also to the society, to say, I tried to work and I tried to bring back something for everybody that could be an aid to help us to live. So this exhibition where you see these paintings, are in the H Gallery in Paris, Rue Chapelle. If you have time to come, would be glad, because a great gallery, and the owner is a great person, and you will meet Regan that is working here. She's also great, great welcoming person, and it's like a family. This is really important. So here I will show, it's quite strange because, as I said to you, I have different things in my brain. And my painting is also schizophrenic. Let's say there's different styles in my painting. Usually I mix them together in an exhibition. Now I decided for this exhibition to do 3 shows and to put like things apart. Like when you open an egg, yeah, you can scramble it, or you can put the white on one side, the yellow on one side, the coquille album and the hard things on another side. So this is what I decided to do. You have 3 different styles. One style is the style that you see here, that is all around in the rez-de-chaussée. That's a really defined painting that I will talk you how I did them. But downstairs, you have an exhibition called Abin Modern, which is all dedicated to modern painting. So modern paintings mean you have to find a new way, like to paint something, a new gesture. And this is what you will see downstairs. And the third way that I would change the exhibition downstairs is like you say plein air painting is when I go outside to paint. So it's another like relation with painting. That is like I did a conference in Art Paris about this part. You have an article in art press now, they talk about this part of my work, and other painters that are again going outside to paint. It's really altmodisch, we say in German, like old-fashioned. No, everything is coming back. Cocteau was saying it like when you sleep on one side, you have to go to the other side that is fresh. So here first, these statings that you see, which have to bring you. So this is really important to understand that the painting is also an object. It's not an image. We are living in an image world, and you have to see that it's really made. Like I do myself the objects, like they are made with wood, so I go to Behnood to buy the wood, everything, and then I glue them together, I fix them together, I prepare all the work like old paintings, and then I paint to them. Yeah, and as you see, it's a really long process. Like this one is the first of the series I made, and it could be like 3 weeks, 1 month, and even more for something like this. Like the big one, there's a horse there. It's like 2 months and a half. And when I say this, it's like from the morning, let's say 10 in the atelier, to 9 o'clock in the evening, 6 hours, 6 days a week. It's like this kind of month. It's not a month of 2 hours a week, yeah? So this is really a lot of hours because it's always made with little lines. So that's why it's really important to come to see them in real, from near. Like in museum, when you go close to the painting, like beep, beep, beep. Here you can really see them. So that's why it's good to go to gallery. So you just go close to them to see how it's made, yeah? Because from a distance would be more the image or photo is not interesting. So you have to see like a Barn and Newman painting, like this abstract painter. You have to see how it's made, and then you go back to the vibration. Eh? You have Jackson Pollock is the other side. It gives you this vibration, and then you go back to the painting. Yeah, this is always this movement in front of the painting. So it's really long made, and it's made with a lot of layers. Let's say I begin with like this brown, okay, and then there's the drawing, and there's 6 to 7 layers on the painting. And more I go on layers, more there is colors. So first, like brown colors at the end, then there's a lot of colors. I finish my palette. Just to prepare my palette is like 1 hour and a half. There's 120 colors. When I begin, there's few colors. Like if you listen to music, would be more boom, 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 boom. At the end, like there's all the colors, like, org players, with all this sound with a lot of notes. But you play with a lot of notes, you have to be aware of the beginning, like after your last. That's why it's really complicated to go in high in colors and really complicate colors because always like say militar green, olive green with some vermillon is always beautiful. But when you put like blue and green together, acid green and blue, it's complicated. So you have to be really good to put them together, yeah? And this is what I try to do. I don't know if I succeed. And this is like not so high with colors, but there are some. Because here you have the corners of the vitrail, and it was the photo was made in the church. So the colors what are arriving. And actually you can think of someone with getting up in the grave, yeah? Like you can imagine something like this. There's always this ambivalence of death and life. I hope that life is arriving after death in my painting. And usually death is arriving after life now in our condition. Yeah. I try to reverse this, yeah. So this is the way it's made. But the painting downstairs are totally differently painted. They are made like in really quick gesture. And when I put like even like more realistic painting, I mix them. The realistic part is made like really in the brushes quite quick. So it's totally another way. Here I try to lose my time. It's really important to lose my time. And in those paintings, I don't know if I will sell it good or not, but even if I'm selling them all, I'm just really not that much money because you can imagine so much time, like 1 month. You did lot energy and food and everything to pay. So at the end, even when it's expensive, it's not a good way to earn your life. So I think the idea is not this for me. The idea is always to do what I need or want to do. And if you can help me to do this, it's really nice. But I mean, you don't have to. But this is my idea will always to be free and to do what I have to do the best way. Because I think it's the best thing I can give to you. Yeah. I think because if you do the thing for the others, it could be not good. If you do the thing for you, it's the best way to do them for the others. Yeah. Because you will be really complicated with yourself. And then you will be really more precise. And I think your painting will be stronger and it will be better for the others, even if the people don't want it this way. Like even if you say to the baby, you have to hit this, you have to hit this. The baby doesn't want it. I don't want this. But you do this because it's good for the baby. Yeah. I think that the painter doesn't have to do what the people want to. He has to do his best for the other. Yeah.
There are always a lot of pressure from the art market,
Yeah.
to the artists, to the artists. How do you deal with these pressures? Do you change your, I don't know, paintings? You change something, or you're just doing what you really want to do?
This question of pressure for all the artists today is really complicated. I think when I went into art, I went inside this like flower. Yeah. My father said to me, if you want to be a painter, you have to understand that you are a bull in the arena. What interests the other is that you die at the end. So then they came with this idea. Yeah. So I was like, he told me first something that is really important to know when you go in this world. So yeah, it's really difficult. And especially because there's a pressure with time. The market needs a lot of painting, a lot of painting. And at the same time, painting, if you think about it, is not about being quick. Yeah, you can be really quick and really good. Like Franz Hals, you have Velasquez, you have Manet. Like the flowers of Manet were made 2, 3 days, one day. I don't know, they're beautiful. It's not a problem. L'Asperge de Manet is one of the most beautiful painting in all art history. Perhaps to do a painting so like Manet did, he spent a week or 2 weeks like doing something else. And then you arrive with his energy. You cannot do 10 asperges for art fair a month. It's not possible. So if you do this, at the end, you will lose something inside. You will tell yourself it's possible. The gallery will hope it's possible. We will all hope it will be possible, but at the end, yeah, you lose a little bit of quality. So there's a lot of pressure. So when you decide to do those kind of style that takes like for this, not those like 10 or 11 painting, it's like 2 years and a half. So you imagine the pressure in the body. Uh, I say I'm not rich. With my life, with my wife and my children, we live in Berlin for all the family 3,500 euro a month. We all survive with this. So it's not that much money, but you need this 3,500. You have to find them. So 2 years and a half, you can calculate. It's 30 times 3,500. So that's a lot of money altogether to do only those elf paintings. So it's a lot of pressure in the brain. And the gallery also has to rent the space, has to rent the art fair space. So it's a lot of pressure for the gallery. I mean, you don't have to say the gallery, you have to understand me. The gallery does what they can. I mean, you cannot say it's unjust, it's the way it is. So you have to take it. Usually I take it in my back, or in the stomach. It's the price to pay. I think to be free and to do what you want, you have to pay something. It's the way it is. And I'm able to pay this price, to pay this night without sleeping and think, how will I do next month? What I will do? No, I will ask for a new job, but I don't know what to do. I'm not good for anything. I have to pay it. So all these fears are inside the body of the artist all the time. For me, it works quite well for the moment, but I don't know what to write next year. And I'm not good to sell myself. I won't go to because in France there's a state art. So if you want to do state art, you have to do like in Iran there is state art. In every state as is, they want something, and you have to do it. If you want to be really free, it's always complicated, because for everybody, this I don't want, this I don't want, this, but yeah, but this is me. So I can do a little bit for you, but not more because I lose my balance and I will fall. So just consider that if I resist, it's not against you. It's because if I don't resist, I will lose myself, and then there won't be any work, So this is complicated. Yeah, this is complicated, but this is also interesting because I was seeing the Basils, the Georg Basils show in Centre Pompidou. The last work of Basils, it's beautiful. Of course, it's beautiful, but you have the feeling of someone who has the money. He can do what he wants. And when you can do what he wants to this point, you have not the coming back of the energy of the flats, And this fight is also really important, I think, from painter. You need a little bit of fight, If it's too easy, then it's like my brother, when he died, I saw my brother die because he was a doctor, so he died at home. When you die, but it's not coming back in the lungs. Okay, when I saw that, it's hard, but it's beautiful at the same time when you see someone great. But it's death. Okay, so when it's too easy, it could be death. It's funny that I say that death is busy in this point, yeah. But I think when you die, there's another thing behind for me. But as a painter, we really die when there's no return. Yeah. So this is important, this anxiety. Yeah, you need this balance with fight, but not too much. If it's too much, you will be depressed totally and you won't be able to work in. So this is a little bit of a fight. And I think it's good.
What's your advice to your younger self?
Me myself when I was younger is if I would talk to me when I was younger, I would say to myself, I hope I didn't disappoint you. So I have no advice to give to you. I just hope I didn't disappoint you. You were really believing in painting when you enter. And I hope I didn't lose this faith. Yeah. Thank you to permit me to arrive there. I would say. Yeah. So this you are here in front of the second part of the show, and as you see, if you come here, you are taking another world. There's some link, of course, with the colors and the world that is around the face, but you are just living another concept of painting. And you see they're like two paintings but together here, and they are put together through stretches. That's also part of it. So I only use the painting itself in this painting and the structure. You also see that the painting is related to the work of Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon that I met when I was a child, 12 years old. I saw a postcard of one of the popes we met. And these popes remind me of the Star Wars, another Star Wars Superman movie, that there was like two bad people, jades. There was jade through time. So it was a two-dimension square writing, cut the heads and put them in the space. And this 2-dimension, 3-dimension is always something fascinated. Yeah? And you have this in the area of Nasruddin Shah when he's singing the loop, and this, you have this scattered moments into toy. And also, as you see, the structure of the painting, the conceptual structure of the painting could be related also to Duchamp. Yeah, all the Duchamp painting, and we see the point de vue étant donné and all those things, the way it's coming out of the using of materiality, once also this painting is letting down the matters, getting at the chaos that makes also forms. And you see how I write, how I do my structures. There's all this structure and this process itself in the painting. Then you also have, like, relation to the painting, you have also for references through Bacon, Velasquez, and they can say that Velasquez is the first modern painter. And that's why in the room you have relation with Manet. Manet is related to Velasquez. So it's all this idea to Picasso that I paid my wife, and to Picasso, but also to all the German expressionist painting. You have Penky, of course. So all this great tradition of modern. But if you deal with modern, you have to find a new gist. It couldn't be like traditional modern. It's really dangerous. It has to be really modern. So if you have to be really modern, you have to find something new. Otherwise, you're just putting modern into tradition. Right? So this is one of the direction I try to find, is to put roots in the tradition, but also that there's something new. You always try to find something new in painting. If you go back in the past, you have to add the net on the other side. It's always otherwise, it's also again death and not life. And the relation with the people are looking the painting since the beginning is the way all my painting are getting to the people. It's always a good way to touch. And I saw on the last art fair, some people arrive in front of the painting and they stop. Sometimes they go inside, sometimes they stay outside. Yeah? Because could be divided revelation. And even when I talk to the people, I go inside and I want to know about the soul. And some people, I understand this. They project an armor. They don't want to open these insides. So I'm always trying to open it. So this is the way there used to be with me, because I want to go inside. And my painting, they try to deal with the inside of the people. And some people won't be feel comfortable with this. For instance, I don't give with my painting. Yeah, it's I love to live with my wife. Painting Florence is a great painter. But my painting I was different. Yeah? Because they are always trying to argue. Yeah, so it's the best.
Usually for great artists, and actually, when they hit the fame, when they're one of the celebrities, they start to repeat themselves, and they're so comfortable to just repeat what they're doing. But when the innovation comes, when you prefer to do something new, it's always challenging. You don't know what does the country said, what does the audience say, what does the critics do. No, but how do you deal with these challenges? It is something very, very innovative, and I think it's this risky. How do you deal with this?
So the risk is big part of my painting, and it's not something I want. It's can't be through. I cannot say no, I try to stop it, but it's there. And it put me in complicated situation. That's why every exhibition I have new collectors. Because usually the collectors of the last exhibition, I mean, some collectors are following me since the beginning, they're very rare. But every time is new people. So this is a lot of visit every time, because you have to find new people. I mean, like you, sometimes it doesn't work. But it's the way it is. I cannot say no to this. And I think it's important. I think I vaccinated with power. Because if you want to keep yourself like known and loved through money and through reconnaissance in Moricano, to those things, Shobabin, Azir, those things, Captain. Yeah, this, I've actually, because I had, through my name, I had some stories of the power. And it's always complicated. It's always difficult. There's always problems. There's always hate. There's always jealousy. It's really like you have to understand people are in power are really suffering. But the only thing we can do for them is to pray. As usually people say, well, they wanted this. Yes, and then I don't want this space. And I think it's the same with pity. When you're getting really famous, it's also a J. You have to stay in this little position, like a little car, yeah, that's still like you can go on, but not too fast, not too high, so you keep your liberty. If I can keep this until I would die, then after I die, it's not my problem anymore to do my job until I will die. And for this, you have to keep a little bit of money and liberty and never say no to something new is arriving to you. Yeah. No, the next step for me when I go back in the atelier, I begin a 3x4 painting without knowing where I go. I think the subject will be war. I think it will talk to the Guernica of Picasso and the Uccello painting. That's the idea, but I'm not sure, The idea is like 3 meters by 4, it's a bad idea. Without knowing where you go, you won't sell this painting for sure. Go. No?
And the very last question. If you could summarize this exhibition in just 3 words, what those 3 keywords would be?
Death, life, light. Merci.